Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well and having a great weekend. Thought I'd just jump on here to give you a bit of an outline on what's coming up for this week in terms of our programming. This will be a weekly occurrence with me kind of giving you a bit of a rundown on what to expect for the week, and also to give you a bit of an outline on how the program is going to be ran over the next 4 weeks as well. So obviously last month's programming was really designed around improving your strength. So we obviously had some low rep work, a lot of low rep work to end with. So doing some quite a lot of heavy twos, threes, ones as well. So last month we had some really good results with everyone doing their testing week last week with the MRAPs on our main lifts. A lot of people, a majority of people, significantly improved in their strength on those lifts, which was awesome to see. And obviously, going forward, what we're looking for in this next month is building upon that. But what we want to start looking at is increasing your work capacity, not just in a conditioning sense, but also within your strength work. And I'll kind of explain how that will work going forward. And obviously, when it comes to each week, I'll kind of explain what we're doing and why we're doing it. But I'll kind of give you a bit of an outline on this week as well. And then we'll kind of go from there. So Monday for this week is our Olympic lifting and our alactic power intervals. So as you can see, pretty stock standard in terms of our typical Olympic lifting and our conditioning intervals on a rower, bike or ski erg. But this week I've broken it down a little bit more for you guys to make it a little bit simpler. So in terms of our Olympic lifting, so as you can see, we have our power clean. So we're going to be doing a high hang power clean. So high hang power clean is catching it from in our quarter squat position. So catching it nice and high. So that we have 4 sets of 3, and then we're going to go into our clean. So we'll be going into a high hang clean. So a clean is when we catch it low in a squat position. So we've broken down the power clean and the clean to make it a little bit easier for you guys. Hopefully then we can kind of get some rhythm and timing with those before kind of coming back into a complex situation. Then we move on to our overhead work. So then we've got our push press, same situation as the high hang, the clean work. So we've got 4 sets of 3 with our push press, and then before finally moving on to our push jerk again, 4 sets of 3 there. So we split them all up in individual little segments. So we'll do our A, then B, then C, then D. And then we finish off with our conditioning intervals like we normally do. So this week, so we're going down in time for our conditioning interval. So over the last month, we were doing about 15 seconds as hard as we can. Now we're going down a little bit. So we'll be doing 12 seconds as hard as possible this week, and it'll slowly go down over the next 4 weeks as well. But what we have is 12 seconds as hard as possible. Then we have a minute 48 rest. So we're going and study a new round every 2 minutes. So the whole thing will be going for 12 minutes because we've got 6 rounds. So 6 rounds of 12 seconds as hard as you can, like hard as you can, and then a minute 48 rest. Make sure you do have a bit of a 5 to 10 second roll in before you start the interval, just to get your speed up really hard, especially on a rower, to get that speed right up in 12 seconds. By the time you've hit like 10 seconds, you might be at top speed. Then you're only holding that really for 2 seconds. So make sure you have 5-10 seconds roll. We don't want to go from 0 to 100. We want to go from about 75 to 80 to 100 to really make sure that we get that high speed up and really get our heart rate working. So that is our Monday. Moving on to our Tuesday. Tuesday is a lower body strength with a goblet squat and run. So I'll explain that. But as you can see on the program, it's a little bit different to what you've been used to. So normally we've had a strength block A and then a strength block B. Not normally would we have a strength block C. But this week's program, we're going to have an A, a B, and a C, and then we'll have our conditioning. So how it'll work is our strength block A is our main strength movement. So that is where we're going to get most of our strength from. So for this, we've got our box squat, which will be a back box squat. So like what we've been doing over the last kind of 4 weeks, that is going to be our high load and really kind of, the movement that we're really trying to get some strength through. So 5 sets of 5, we'll be building up every set. So that will be like our main strength and really trying to hit some high load on that box squat. Once we've done that, we'll move on to our B block, which is what we'll call our back off sets. So we'll be backing off the weight a fair bit. So our box squat will be wanting to work to around 80% of our box squat, which is obviously normally higher than a normal back squat anyway, because it is reduced range of movement. And then we'll be moving on to about 65% for our back squat. We'll be performing 4 sets of 10. So our box squat will be really trying to get some high load through there, low reps, high load. And then we're backing that off and trying to get some work capacity. So, how I talked about trying to build work capacity over the next 4 weeks. We'll be then going to 4 sets of 10 with our back off sets on the back squat. Cool. And then we'll be moving on to our C block. So that will be kind of our accessory lift. So we've got some dumbbell RDLs and some pelvic press. So a little bit of hamstring work to offset our squatting. And then a little bit of core work as well. So that's kind of our accessory stuff. So we've got our main strength, a back offset, and then accessory work. And then we move into our conditioning, which is a goblet squat and run. So it's a 2 4-minute AMRAPs. So what you'll be doing is you'll be doing 10 dumbbell or kettlebell goblet squats, and then sprinting out the back, sprinting to the gate and back, and then going back into our goblet squats. If you can't run, you can go 50 meters as hard as you can on the row or ski. If you're not able to run, instead of the sprint to the gate and back. The score is how many full rounds you get through in the 4 minutes. So how many full rounds you get of the 10 squats and the sprint on the back, that's obviously 1. If you only get, say you got through 4.5, you only get 4 for your score. All right, so really try and push hard and really try and make sure that we're getting just as many, if not more, rounds in our second set. Alright, so that is our conditioning and everything else for our Tuesday. Our Wednesday will be a little bit of upper body work. So we have same setup. So strength block A, B, and C. So main strength is our barbell bent over row. Same thing, 5x5 we'll be building out. That will be our main strength movement. Then we have our back offsets in our B block. So obviously it'll be less weight, but obviously more volume, more reps in our dumbbell 3-point row. And then we have some accessory work. So some alternating dumbbell bench press and some WYTs to offset our barbell row and our 3-point row. And then for our conditioning, we have it's called a mile chipper. So what we're doing is rowing or skiing 400 meters, 20 dumbbell push press, 400 meters again on the row or ski, 30 ring rows, 400 meters, 40 wall balls, 400 meters, and finishing off with 50 kettlebell swings. We'll probably have a time cap around 15 minutes, depending on how quickly you guys get through your strength stuff as well. So obviously mile chipper, because the row or ski ends up being 1600 meters, so that's a mile. And then we have our other little exercises in there as well. So it's a little fun one. I actually did that the other week. It was great. It was a sweaty one though. So have fun with that one. Should be a good one. That is definitely one that will be building on your work capacity, that's for sure, if you're conditioning. On the Thursday, we have another lower body strength day. So this day will be our rack pulls. So again, rack pull in our strength block A, which is our main strength. Then we go into our back offset. So similar movement. Yeah, so you'll find that all our back offsets are very, very similar movements. That's why we're trying to build that work capacity in the same movement or same muscles. Yeah, so we'll have our back offsets will be our barbell RDL. And then for our accessory work, we have some Bulgarian split squats and a front plank with leg lift. So obviously some quad work to offset our posterior chain work in our deadlift. So, deadlifts are more glutes, hammies, etc. Bulgarian split squats, more quads. Then a little bit of core work, and then our conditioning is 6 rounds for time. So nice and simple, this one, literally 6 rounds for time. It's going to be 6 dumbbell power cleans, and I want you to try and go nice and heavy if you are comfortable with your dumbbell power cleans, and 6 cals. So you're just going to try and go through that as fast as you can. So 6 rounds of 6 dumbbell cleans, power cleans, and 6 cals. Our Friday is upper body day, which will be with a partner workout. So our strength block A will be our barbell bench press, strength 5x5, strength block B, obviously our back offset will then go into some dumbbell bench press. So you can kind of see see how it flows this week. Yeah, so 4x10 for that. So obviously we'll be going less weights. Dumbbells can't do as much on the dumbbell, plus we got 10 reps to do. And then our accessory work is some pull-ups. and an overhead farmer's carry. So one arm overhead farmer's carry for a bit of shoulder and core work. With our pull-ups, I know we've been doing a lot of volume in our pull-ups. So this week, we've only got, there's not really much tempo. So we've been doing 5-second holds with our pull-ups this week. It's just a controlled 2-second lower. There's no pause at the top or anything like that. Try and do it with as little band as possible. So obviously we've been doing 12. We got up to 12 reps in our pull-ups last week. We're obviously going and with a 5-second pause. So really try and back off the bands as much as you can to get those 5 reps in. If you're really, really confident with your pull-ups, I want you to try and have a crack with some weight as well. So we want to try and really build some strength in that pull-up. And then our conditioning is a pairs conditioning. Like I said, it's going to be a race to 2.5 Ks on the row or ski erg. So break it down however you like. Your score is obviously your time. So if you want to do it in 250 meter efforts with your partner, 500 meter efforts, whatever. It's fully up to you guys and girls to work out. And obviously what you do as well is when you are resting, you just have to complete 10 dumbbell thrusters. All right. You only have to do it once during your rest. It doesn't mean you just keep going while you rest. You just do your 10 dumbbell thrusters and then rest the rest of the time that your partner is on the row or ski erg. If you can, try and have one male, one female in each pair. If not, it doesn't really matter, just to have a bit of a mix so all the guys don't go together, all the girls don't go together, but it's fully up to you. And then finishing off with our Saturday workout. So Saturdays are going to be more accessory kind of days, and then we're going to try and get it into like partner workouts or kind of group workouts as well on our Saturday to have a bit of a fun and kind of build a bit of a community there as well. So for our Saturday, a little bit of accessory work. So we've got some barbell overhead press. We've got out some walking lunges, some bicep curls, and some mini band some banded monster walks, so a bit of glute work. So it's just a bit of accessory work, and then the main thing for the Saturdays is conditioning. This exercise is called Embrace the Suck. So you can probably obviously imagine that it's going to be a pretty tough one. So with this one, it is going to be in partners. All right. So how it's going to work is one partner can only work at a time. You complete each exercise before moving on to the next. So the exercises are 100 wall balls, 100 push-ups, but they can be used on an incline push-up. So the barbell can be up onto on the rig as well to help you obviously get those good quality push-ups out. Also you'll be completing 150 cals on the rower and 150 cals on the bike. So obviously that doesn't mean that each person has to complete all these. It is divided in your partner, and you can divide it up however you want. If one of your partners really good at wall balls, the other one isn't, and maybe one partner is good with push-ups and one isn't, you can split it up however you like. Obviously with numbers on this one, some pairs may have to start on the bike due to obviously having only 4 bikes. So we'll kind of just work that out on the day. But that will be the workout. 100 wall balls, 100 push-ups, 150 cals on the rower, 150 cals on the bike. And that is all for the week. Thank you very much, everyone, for obviously, if you do watch this, thank you very much. If you have any questions, obviously, with the programming or anything, make sure you hit up your coaches, obviously, or you can hit me up individually. I hope you all have a great week of training, and I'll see you throughout the week. And those that are in tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.